there is a power, an unshakable, immovable power, that rises in a man or woman the moment they stop flinching at life, the moment they stop reacting, not because they don't feel the chaos, but because they've remembered who they are. You don't become powerful by controlling everything outside of you. You become powerful when the outside world no longer controls what happens inside of you. You rise not by conquering the noise, but by refusing to let it touch your peace. The world is loud. The world is violent. The world wants a reaction from you. And every time you take the bait, every time you snap, spiral, rage, doubt, chase, or fold, you give away your crown. You surrender the throne of your inner kingdom to whatever storm showed up at your door, but there is a law timeless, spiritual, immovable. And it says this: what you react to, you give power to. What you ignore, you starve. What you transcend, you master. And mastery is what you came here for, not the kind of mastery they write about in shallow books filled with empty cliches. Not the kind you can fake on a screen with flashy quotes and staged confidence. I'm talking about the ancient kind, the kind that's forged in silence, the kind that's built in solitude, the kind that's tested in the dark when no one's watching, and you're the only one who knows whether you break or breathe. The truth is, most people are slaves. Slaves to emotion, slaves to impulse, slaves to opinion, slaves to external validation, headlines, dopamine hits, and digital applause. One negative comment, and they crumble. One missed opportunity, and they spiral. One rejection, and they fold their dream into a coffin of excuses. But not you. You've felt it, haven't you? That call inside your chest, that deeper pull, that sacred knowing that says, I was not born to flinch. I was born to focus. I was born to rule my mind. That is your inheritance. And that is what this world fears most. Not your money, not your status, but your ability to walk through fire and not blink. When Marcus Aurelius ruled Rome, he faced rebellion, war, betrayal, plague, yet in his private writings, you don't find a man complaining. You find a man reflecting, a man directing, a man returning to the fortress within. His philosophy was simple. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. You see, the ones who build empires are the ones who first build silence inside themselves. They don't react to the world. They create their world, and that's where it starts, because reaction is easy. Anger is easy. Blame is easy. But strength, stillness, focus, that's the work of giants. Your emotions are not your enemy. They are messengers. But if you keep opening the door every time fear knocks, if you keep abandoning your discipline every time doubt whispers, you'll never step into the destiny waiting on the other side of self-command. This is where most people lose. They think success is about talent, or timing, or luck. No, it's about response. It's about who you choose to become when life tries to provoke you. Every champion, every visionary, every groundbreaker you admire, from Lincoln to Carnegie, from Mandela to Jobs, mastered one truth: their emotional thermostat was not set by the world. It was set by their inner standard. They weren't moved by insults. They didn't fold under criticism. They didn't shatter when people laughed at them. They learned how to breathe in fire and speak with ice. You don't climb mountains by fighting gravity. You climb by mastering the way you step. One step, one thought, one moment of refusal to be pulled into the chaos of lesser minds. And that refusal, that sacred defiance, is where power is born. Think of the boxer in the ring. The crowd is screaming. His opponent is taunting. The lights are hot. The pain is real, and yet his eyes are calm. Why? Because he knows the moment I react emotionally, I lose control of the fight. Life is your ring, and most people are too busy swinging wildly, wasting energy, reacting to every blow, every whisper, every distraction. But the master knows. Conserve. Breathe. Watch. Respond when it matters. Not when you're provoked, but when you decide. This is the art of non-reaction, and it is not weakness. It is the highest form of strength. You do not have to answer every insult. You do not have to respond to every trigger. You do not have to react to every piece of negativity hurled at you. You are not obligated to dance with every devil that knocks. Let them rage. Let them gossip. Let them try to pull you down. While they burn energy trying to provoke a reaction, you're building empires in silence. That is what makes you different, because while most people spend their lives reacting to opinions, circumstances, moods, market crashes, and news cycles, you've chosen to live by design, not default. By vision, not noise. By purpose, not pressure. You've chosen to master the only battlefield that ever mattered, your own mind. There's a reason Joseph Murphy said, "You're like a captain navigating a ship. You must give the right orders. And likewise, you must give the right thoughts to your subconscious mind. But how can you give the right orders when you're reacting to every storm? You can't command a ship if you're chasing every wave. You can't command your destiny if you're triggered by every obstacle. This world will test you. Not once, not twice, but over and over and over again. And every test is asking the same question. Can I still move you? Can I still provoke you? Can I still make you doubt yourself? Your answer must become no, not because you're numb, but because you've become sovereign. Sovereign over your thoughts. Sovereign over your emotions. Sovereign over your focus. The old you would have reacted. The old you would have snapped. The old you would have spiraled. But not this version. Not this king. Not this queen. You've built your inner kingdom to well. You've laid your foundation in steel and silence. You've trained your nervous system to breathe through what once broke you. You are no longer available for emotional bait. This is why clarity is everything. Because when you know who you are, you don't need to prove anything to anyone. When you know what you want, you don't need to react to every distraction. When you know where you're going, you don't need to fight with every critic. Most people react because they lack clarity. They're not grounded in vision. They're floating in insecurity. So every opinion cuts deep. Every failure feels final. Every delay feels like a death sentence. But you've chosen the narrow road, the focused road, the sovereign road. And that means learning to live above the noise. It means you stop chasing applause and start listening to your soul. The most dangerous man in the room isn't the loudest. It's the one who doesn't flinch when provoked. The one who can sit in stillness when others panic. The one who can wait. Watch. Move with precision, not emotion. That's what the world needs now. Not more outrage. Not more reaction. But more minds anchored in truth. Look at nature. The ocean does not react to the screams of the wind. It doesn't beg the storm to leave. It doesn't fight the current. It simply continues. Relentless, patient, timeless, and that is how you must become. You must learn to let the noise pass through you. Let it swirl around you. Let it test you. And yet, you remain unmoved. Because your purpose is not up for debate. Your mission is not dependent on mood. Your vision does not require validation. This is why the old warriors trained in silence. This is why monks spent years in solitude. Why leaders like Lincoln wrote letters he never sent just to empty the emotion without unleashing it into the world. Because mastery is not found in the loud response. It's found in the quiet restraint. That's the edge ... In a world addicted to speed, silence becomes your superpower. In a culture obsessed with reaction, stillness becomes your strategy. In a timeline filled with emotional landmines, clarity becomes your shield. Don't let small things shatter you. Don't let weak minds shape you. Don't let temporary pain provoke a permanent mistake. Breathe. Recalibrate. Remember who you are. Because if you react, you become what they expect. But if you remain still, you rise into what they can't explain. Think of Nelson Mandela, 27 years behind bars. 27 years of steel walls and lost time and shattered dreams. And yet, he walked out with dignity, not rage. Power, not revenge. Stillness, not bitterness. Why? Because he refused to become a reaction to his captors. He refused to let the injustice mold him into a mirror of pain. He understood, the moment you react with hatred, you become a carrier of the very poison that tried to destroy you. That's a different level of power, and that level is available to you not after decades, but the moment you decide, every time you're tempted to lash out, choose stillness. Every time you want to fire back, choose elevation. Every time the world hands you a reason to rage, choose to return to your higher self, because the world doesn't need more reactors. It needs builders, architects of peace, carriers of calm, warriors of clarity who understand that energy is currency and they refuse to spend it on anything beneath their purpose. There will always be critics, there will always be chaos, there will always be something screaming for your attention. But if you want to build something eternal, something few even believe is possible, you must train yourself to feel everything, but react to almost nothing. That's the paradox. You don't become heartless. You become heartful. So full of conviction, so full of vision that the petty doesn't penetrate. So full of gratitude that criticism doesn't corrupt. So full of fire that distractions dissolve on contact. That's how the greats moved. Edison failed 10,000 times, but never cursed the dark knees. Ford was ridiculed for dreaming of horseless carriages, but didn't flinch. Disney was told he lacked imagination, but didn't respond with anger. He responded with creation. That's your path. Let the noise exist. Let the doubters speak. Let the temporary discomfort swirl. But you keep building. In silence. In peace. In power. So now the question becomes, who are you when no one gets a reaction? Who are you when the world tries to pull you, provoke you, distract you, and all you offer is presence? Who are you when you stop defending your greatness and start embodying it? Because that's where this all leads. To the moment you realize you never needed to prove anything. You just needed to remember who you are. You are not here to react, you are here to redefine. You are not here to be shaken, you are here to shake the world. But only when you stop answering to fear. Only when you stop explaining yourself to the noise. Only when you go so deep into your vision, your mission, your silence that the storms can scream. And you keep building. That's the version of you that changes everything. The version that walks into rooms with no need to dominate. Because they already own themselves. The version that smiles in the face of chaos. Because they've already made peace with their destiny. The version that moves with unbreakable faith. Not because the path is easy, but because the purpose is real. And from this moment forward, that is the only version that gets to lead. No more reacting to things that drain you. No more shrinking to match the noise. No more wasting time explaining your soul to minds not built to receive it. Now you walk. Now you rise. Now you become the one who cannot be shaken because you have nothing left to prove. and everything left to build. The world doesn't need your reaction. It needs your revelation. Be still. Be bold. Be immovable. You become what you refuse to react to. And now, you refuse to be anything less than who you are always meant to be.